You're watching Scorching and Swearing with your host, Brandon Swear.
Hello and welcome. Welcome on into Scorching and Swearing. And man, this is going to be another fun episode. Got some fresh pods here. If you've already seen the teaser video, I've already showcased a box that just recently arrived from Jacob Deathridge at Deathridge Peppers. And man, if you know Jacob, he grows extremely hot peppers. And he's also part of the Primos Wrecking Crew, so if you've seen any of the hot pepper competitions, you know, the Wrecking Crew is one of the main pod suppliers for that. So today I have two peppers that we're going to be enjoying and reviewing. So this is the Mantis Claw Yellow, I believe is the exact name. Now this is, to my knowledge, a Kevin Bain creation, obviously grown out by Jacob Deathridge. And this is a purple Moruga off pheno. So beautiful peppers. Both are pretty amazing in both the shape, the color. Just, I mean, looks great. Love it. Love what I'm seeing here. This one was an 11 gram pepper, and then this one came in at 15. So I weighed those out right before this, but we're gonna cut these open. I'm gonna go ahead and use, I've had this knife for a while. It's a hunting knife, but today we're hunting peppers. Custom made. It's a beautiful blade. So, solid piece. But we're gonna go ahead and start with the Mantis Claw Yellow. So go ahead and pop off the stem on this and get this one cut open. Alright, if you know me and you've seen this other stuff, I'm not the biggest proponent for cutting open pods. I just would rather commit to eating it. But I am curious to know what's going on. Blade's been broken in now. But beautiful. On the inside, let me get a close-up. Boom. As you can see. All right, well, let's get a good aroma too while we're here. Very pepper forward, very Chinense, as to be expected. Not really picking up any kind of sweetness notes, but it does have a kind of a citrus aroma as well going on to it, but kind of to be expected as well since it is a yellow pepper. I'm Brandon Swear, and this is Scorching and Swearing, so let's dive on in. Right off the bat, super juicy, amazing citrus kick. Nice crunch to this. That citrusy, sweet taste right off the bat. Phenomenal. Every time I bite down, just these bursts of citrus and sweetness. It is coming through phenomenal on this. You know, not too certain as far as the cross that kind of went in on this, but interestingly enough, as I'm chewing it and as I was, getting it nice and pulverized, man, this thing goes from this sweet citrusy to almost kind of like a banana taste, if you will, like a nice plantain. Sounds weird coming from a pepper, but man, that is phenomenal. So let's talk up initial heat. So right off the bat, the heat, kind of kicks in on the front of the mouth, the lips, the gums, kind of resonating on the front of the mouth a lot. And then from there, feeling it really on the upper part of my mouth, sitting at the top of my the roof of my mouth area, now kind of drifting ever so slightly to the back of the throat, but mostly just sitting in the mouth. Nothing in the chest, nothing in the gut, but all in all, phenomenal pepper, amazing tasting pepper at that. And man, I could see that thing being a monster in you know, in a powder or in a sauce, because they're phenomenal fresh. But I bet you that sweet, that note that kind of comes through of that banana-esque taste is got to be phenomenal in a powder. I'll say this: the heat or the burn is very short-lived. It's already kind of climbing or going back down. I was kind of waiting for it to either slow build or really pick up, but nothing yet. Still really flogging the front of my mouth and around my gums, so definitely, you know, interesting how this one just kind of latches on. And anyone that knows how I burn, the one major weak point that I have is the front of the mouth. So like anything in the mouth, the lips, the gums, that typically hits me the hardest. The back of the throat, I can handle. The upper chest, the gut, I can handle that pretty well. It's always the mouth burn that gets me. It's pretty much completely gone. But while we're talking about that, if you're looking to grab yourself some fresh peppers, definitely reach out to Jacob Deathridge and get yourself a box. So without that stem on there, we'll go ahead and get this one cut open. I would say heat-wise, before I move on, heat-wise on that Mantis Claw Yellow, probably around a ghost pepper heat. Nothing too crazy, so maybe at 1,000,000 or flirting around that line at 1,000,000. All in all, hearty size pod. I mean, definitely packed a nice amount of mass with that. Phenomenal taste. I could see that one being really fun if you were to slice it and make kind of like a chili head popper. That would be really good, because those nice those nice ridges and everything would kind of hold the cream cheese, etc., before you wrap the bacon. But that would be phenomenal. So we'll say, thankfully, it's starting to clear up my sinuses. I've been rather congested the last few days, so to be able to breathe again is nice. But all right, let's go ahead and get this one opened up once again. Beautiful pepper. Love the twisted contortedness of this. This is the purple Moruga off Pheno, and go ahead and get that one a nice cut as well. Man, way more oily on that one. Don't know, it is extremely oily compared to the last. There's an interior shot for everyone that is looking for that. Man, wow. Overall smell, yes, you're picking up the chinense, but it's also got this interestingly sweet aroma. Wow, okay. Really interested to see how this one goes. I mean, this should be substantially hotter than the last one, just given the fact that it is a Moruga. So we'll see. So cheers. Interesting. Let me get the rest of this down, but that first bite had a touch of bitterness just right off the bat. Nothing too crazy. There was a little bit of sweetness, but more so this this kind of like herby bitterness that came to it. So all right, definitely this one had some floral notes to it, much more noticeable floral notes on the back half where more of that placenta is, which is completely understandable. Feeling this one immediately go towards the back of the throat. Not so much the mouth, maybe like mid-mouth, but mostly the back of the throat right now. All in all, it's had an initial, just very subtle, very soft, sweet, slight bitter, and then straight into this floral note. And probably the floral note is the most noticeable right off the bat. Heat on this one, you're chewing it, everything's fine, and then you start to really feel it latch on and you hit the back of the throat, and that's when you start to feel it spike. This one's definitely going to be a lot hotter than the yellow mantis. However, that's kind of to be expected, just kind of given the different genetics of these pods. So yeah, well, let's see here. So as it's really building, also on the back of my throat, it's kind of like hitting only the left hand side of my throat right now. Not really so much the right, which is odd. I chewed it up pretty good, so it shouldn't be that bad. See, got the sinuses going, got a little bit of an eye glassiness going on. Was hoping for a little bit more, and it's starting to feel like it, a little bit more sinuses clearing up. But man, all in all, let's talk about what was going on there. So this one has a little bit more of a stinging burn too, which is interesting. So we talked about the heat right off the bat. We talked about it had a little bit of that sweet, almost fruity note at the beginning, but also a bitterness that kind of came in there, and from the bitterness and the sweetness it went straight into a floral. And then it goes from there. Let's take a look. I had some written down categories if you've seen any of the others. There we go, getting the nose going. So something else I didn't talk about in the last one, which we saw on the camera. This is a thin-walled pepper as well. The first one was a pretty fast burn, nothing too crazy, nothing. It was rather short-lived, to put it that way. The purple Moruga off pheno has a strong upfront heat, and then it just kind of lingers, smolders, kind of like a little bit of a coal on the back of the throat. But even that is starting to fizzle down, so it's hitting the lower portion of the throat instead of like that upper back. Yeah, let's talk about what does this one resemble. What is it like? All in all, the heat on this one is much more indicative of a Moruga, as to be expected. I mean, it's just an off pheno purple variant. The thing that I was wondering is if the purple variant was going to be lesser in heat. Yeah, maybe just a bit, nothing too crazy, nothing super noticeable in the heat drop, if you will, from it being that. But man, phenomenal pepper, amazing punch, a nice heat. Love what's going on here. There was no smokiness, no earthy notes, none of that. That kind of herby initial part, I think, was really more of the transition from bitter to floral, because that was just very short. Opening up the sinuses, really got the eyes going on that one. Okay, so for the purple Moruga off pheno, I would definitely say that one is going to be, you know, easily a 7 or 8 to anyone that's a chili head. And, you know, if you're new to the game, it is definitely not going to be one that you just want to jump right in with. You probably would have a hard time even getting that down if your tolerance wasn't there. Phenomenal peppers. Go pick up yourself some, and many other varieties at Deathridge Peppers. So go hit him up. I will have the links for everything down below on how you can get a hold of him. I'm Brandon Swear, and this has been Scorching and Swearing.
This has been Scorching and Swearing with your host, Brandon Swear.